Good morning. Hope everyone is good today. We need to be careful in evaluating everything that comes towards us, what we read, what we see, what we hear, because there is a great deal of misinformation being shared, in a sense, an attempt to stuff it down our throats, to believe in things that may or may not be actually true or half true or just outright lies. Perhaps this isn't the venue to have such a conversation, but it's important to not be trusting of everything because people have ulterior motives. Usually they are financially related. Sometimes they are psychologically related in some ways to diminish oneself at one's expense where someone profits from it, be it relationships, being whatever it might be, purported friendships, etc. Be careful. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this because I find it in my own life, in evaluating and investigating ideas, seemingly innocent and truthful, that turn out to be not. Who's responsible for this lack of credibility or integrity? Who knows, right? It's a different story. There are many ways people come to their decisions and what they report. So someone may innocently be carrying on a lie and not even know it. We see this all the time, even in national TV and our governmental leaders. We see it. With all that said, I don't mean to take away from our meditation experience. You're here for that. But I'm just saying to you to be very careful. That's all. There is no fee for what I am doing here. I would never charge a fee for our basic meditation mindfulness experiences because I feel it's something to be shared, not something to be sold. It doesn't have a value in the sense of dollars and cents. It has a value in terms of one's own soul. It is why I am here and why I spend this time coming into a comfortable posture, feeling your warmth, feeling the heat being generated by your body, coming into a realization that we are alive, that there are many processes going on simultaneously within us. We breathe, we pulse, we're heating our bodies with our muscular activity. And the sum total of it all is that we are shimmering, vibrating, quivering, quaking with activity. Our whole bodies, all the time. Becoming aware of these processes is a means of investigating one's own being. It is a means of verifying the truth of what we are discussing in these podcasts. I'm not asking you to believe in what I say. Quite the contrary. I'm asking you to validate the truth as you feel it, as you breathe, as you pulse, as you're warm, as you shimmer. If for some reason you don't feel any of these processes, then it's a question of learning to step by step be more sensitive to finding them. On several occasions, perhaps many occasions, I've explained that when I began this idea of meditation, I couldn't feel my own pulse. I'm sitting in a meditative posture and wondering, why can't I feel my own pulse? And most likely because it was right in front of my face. It was in plain sight. It was in plain feeling. But because I was taking it for granted for so much, it was unseen by me. You know the saying of you miss the things in plain sight. So it was true for me. So in this instance, I was lucky enough to put my 2 fingers from one hand on my wrist crease on my other hand underneath the thumb and find my radial artery and press it gently, finding my pulse. And from this humble, simple, and meager beginning, now easily I feel my pulse wherever I choose, in a sense. I feel it everywhere. Not always, but when I have the intention to feel it. Or sometimes it just comes of its own. You know how sometimes even you feel your pulse from one part of your body, maybe in one of your legs, and all of a sudden you feel the pulse in your thigh or your calf, and it's like, what? That's such a weird thought, right? What such a weird feeling I'm having right now. But you have that before? So it's kind of like that. It's amazing, really, what our subconscious mind does. Or another, for instance, in a different way. You're about to do something, and all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, your mind says, what about this? And you go, oh my goodness, I had forgotten all about that. And you take care of whatever that thought was and continue then to proceed. Isn't it extraordinary how our minds act? And we don't really have a sense of this. How does it work? Good question, right? A good subject for one's mindful meditation. So relaxing in a posture where you feel comfortable, where one feels at ease, where we can concentrate and focus on our goal, our aspiration of being in a mindful state of meditation, following the way we breathe, the ups, the pauses, the downs, the pauses again. As we begin again and again and again, 15 to 20,000 times a day, breathing, feeling a sense of excitement that we are aware of this, finding a sense of reverence and amazement that this is part of whom and what we are, being, finding a sense of awe in one's own being for this process that helps keep us alive. Further, remembering one's pulse, locating, maybe today just in one's wrist crease, and maybe one's whole bodily undulates with the cadence of one's heart's beating, this rhythm of our lives, from one to the other and in between, finding one's pulse perhaps behind your eyes, or oftentimes in one's cheeks, one's hands, one's feet, one's chest is a likely location. But anywhere, it's all the same eventually. It's a moving, flowing dynamic, both of these processes. And because they are flowing processes, they can take on an importance in one's own continuing mindful meditation through one's day. This is a key thought to share with oneself, to have a mindful meditation concerning this. It's important. You want to be highly aware, perceptive, receptive, sensitive all day. You don't want to just have 14 minutes of splendor and then be mediocre. You want to be special. You want to be awake, alive, validating what's happening in your wisdom, maturity, and knowledge, in one's experience, in one's sense of virtuosity, in one's kindness, compassion, understanding. In these ways, we find ourselves special because we are. We are here now, bundles of miracles, not taken for granted, but highlighted so that we might remember whom we are more actively through the day. This is the point. This is the reason for doing what we're doing. We're practicing. We're creating a ritual, a habit to further our practice, to further our awareness of whom we are. And it's a sense of awe. One should have the ability to help create in themselves a sense of awe. Every day, multiple times. These moments are reinforcing of one's aspirations, of one's goal. Breathing, pulsing, exuding thermal energy, and shimmering are 4 tools we use to help us remember whom we are. Again, all flowing, all occurring simultaneously, 24 hours a day. Pulsing 90,000 times a day. Yes, easy to have taken for granted. Easy, understandable. That's why we say to be nice. It's like multitasking. We can do simultaneously many different things, and we do. And even in our conscious minds, we can do a different amount, each person, at different times. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4 different things at once. And so sometimes we find ourselves what we call forgetful. It's not being forgetful. It's just that we've changed lanes. We've taken a new direction. It's not something to admonish oneself about. It's more of aha, an aha moment where one says to themselves, oh, is this okay for what I want to accomplish right now? Or should I change and remember what I feel is more important? What are my goals for this moment? Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's remembering the processes that we're now discussing. But do I get angry? No. Do I become understanding? Yes. Am I disappointed? No. Am I kind? Yes. Am I compassionate? Yes. Am I deserving of being compassionate? Yes, we are. Doing these things are guides to help us play and enjoy this game we call our lives. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.